Dr. Wilson Tremura of the Brazilian Music Institute. Dr. Tremura, as far as I know, the Jacare Brasil Ensemble is the only Brazilian music group in Gainesville. What are your views about the notion that this ensemble is a cultural ambassador to Gainesville?
First of all, the Jacare Brasil is part of the School of Music, World Music activities, and it is a music ensemble like any other training opportunity for students to learn different musics. We have like a band, an orchestra. So Jacare Brasil, in a sense, is a Latin American ensemble that specializes in the music of Brazil. However, we also have performed music of other parts of Latin America. We had music, Guatemala. We have Peruvian music, Colombia in the past. Brazil is mostly the main activity or the main repertoire.
Do you see the group more as an educational tool or more as a source of entertainment within Gainesville?
Definitely an educational tool, definitely. I think the entertainment is just a result of people expressing the fun of what it is to perform that kind of music. We always specialize in not only putting the upbeat music per se, but we also have some more chamber type of music that involves cellos, violins, and flutes, which are not necessarily linked to high entertainment, but most educational and also quality, artistic quality production.
What types of events does the group participate in outside of the UF World Music concerts, and how is the group integrated into the greater musical cultures of Gainesville?
I think I know you're trying to answer questions for Gainesville, part of your research. I think we have, in many different circumstances, done a lot of work outside the university per se system. We have done. I don't think you can count the homecoming events. We also perform regularly at downtown, which is a community event. We have been doing that for like 3 or 4 years in a row. We also have performed joint with other guests that comes from other cities and other places. We also have traveled to other parts of the state, such as Tallahassee, such as Miami or Orlando. We do outreach. We go to schools. We promote music, and not only in the performance is kind of a result of people see it, what it is, but actually behind the performance there's a lot of outreach, there's a lot of care that we take in preparing students to get involved in this kind of music, and get involved in what it takes to be part of this kind of organization.
So moving on to some musical aspects. What are some recurring musical and lyrical themes that appear in the music that you play?
Yeah, we actually reach a variety of repertoires from all the old forms of traditional music in Brazil, such as the early sambas or choros, and bossa nova, and music from the Northeast. I share the group with Dr. Crook, which is the founder of the group. So he has a lot of experience playing the music of the Northeast of Brazil. As you can see in the map, it's a large place, and there's a lot of music activities there. So we perform music from this region, the Northeast of the country, which has a lot of maracatus, a lot of samba reggae, cocos, baião, and we also perform music of the Southeast, which has more the samba. So it's a compilation of different types of repertoires. So in a sense, we please several different types of audience. Let's say if we were playing in Brazil, some people may think, oh, you guys sound like from this area or from that area. So I think our group has a more universal characteristic. So we try to address all those types of music, and by doing that, we expose people who perform the music to learn more than one style. So when you're part of the ensemble, you learn how to do that music and this music, and you have a sense what music in Brazil is about.
Okay. perhaps you could elaborate a little bit more on how the music varies across the large nation.
Brazil, is in a sense, is like the USA, a very large country. So there's many different miscegenations and mix of cultures in there: Europeans, indigenous, Africans, Asians. So the music of Brazil also reflect that mix. So their music in the north, especially in the coast areas, they're much rhythm-driven music. A lot of the drumming, a lot of the movement type of music. If you go to the interior, you're going to see more lyrical music, some music that resembles music of the Baroque or the classical period. So there's more emphasis on the melody, less emphasis on the rhythm. So there's a combination of musical styles. We can name several musical styles, and each one will have its own characteristic, depending on the region and depending on who's playing that music and why they're playing that music.
Is any meaning or importance of perhaps some of the lyrical themes of the music, the significance of the music, lost at all when it's transplanted outside of its own culture?
I think the interpretation can be lost. How we interpret that music. I think the music itself, it has its core, whatever it is. It's like, just think, for example, if you put an American jazz tune being performed in Europe or in Africa, does it lose by American musicians? I think perhaps the message changes slightly because people will be listening to that music with a different type of perspective, an oral perspective, and also a cultural perspective. So in that sense, it does lose because you're not performing that music where it was created and where it was engaged initially. So it has the ability of bringing other emotions and other feelings that you usually don't get when you're playing in your own backyard. Let's say in Gainesville, you have a band, you play this garage band somewhere in town, and you have your friends or your family, and you play this club. So just think of taking this band and go some garage band in South America. So how that music would change how people perceive that music. You guys still going to be playing the same music, but somehow there's a different interaction between the artist and the audience. In that sense, I guess there's some.
So what was your original motivation to bring and expand the Brazilian music here at the University?
Yes, actually, Dr. Krug was the founder of the Jacaré Brazil, the ensemble that I worked with and co-direct with him. And the idea for me was to expand all the possibilities that he envisioned many years before I came, that how the music of Brazil could transform the lives of students and the community. So my collaboration was just to add to something that he started and increase its capacity. So I brought more of the guitar and the vocal element of the music, while Dr. Cook was more the percussion, kind of rhythm, drive force of the music. So because the music of Brazil you have to think more like an orchestra. You know, an orchestra has strings, you have, brass, you have percussion. The music of Brazil is a mix of all that. It's heavy percussion, a lot of vocals, a lot of harmony. So it is, my role here was kind of to expand that and to, in a sense, to diversify and attract more students and people to be in the